Our society is crazy about Jesus, but his messages so rarely get through. We hear something like, turn the other cheek, Matthew 5:39, and it seems baffling. Someone hits you in the face, and you say, now, how about the other side? It's confusing and unrealistic. But like so much of what we hear when ancient wisdom reaches our ears, we're probably making the mistake of being too literal. In ancient times, people didn't get so hung up on this concept of literal truth. Did this really happen? Is that a provable fact? Those concepts come embedded within a literate society. Almost all of us know how to read. That ability was not so commonplace thousands of years ago, especially in small Middle Eastern fishing communities. Back then, most everything was oral tradition, and embedded within oral tradition is an understanding about symbolic language. Symbolism, metaphor. Using symbolic language was a helpful tool for remembering things and passing wisdom on to the next generation. Metaphors are how you make abstract concepts more digestible and memorable. Turning the other cheek is symbolic. I know you know that already, but symbolic how? In my interpretation, imagine a person hurts you. It could be in a big way or a small way. The point is you've been done wrong. You can go the old eye for an eye route, but Jesus said you're not supposed to do that. He said, turn the other cheek. Does that mean he expects you to be willingly victimized? I don't think so. I think the real point is that we're supposed to cut one another some slack, not rush to judgment. Give people an opportunity for redemption. Forgive. Say, yes, you hurt me, but I will give you the opportunity to redeem yourself. Make things right. Bury the hatchet. Forgive. Our society does not forgive. We put felons in jail and throw away the key. You did a bad thing, therefore you are a bad person, and we can never forgive you. Debt to society? What you have done can never be forgiven. Now, are there cases where such an attitude might be justifiable? Perhaps. That is for a jury of peers to decide. Again, Hitler's another obvious example. Some things may be unforgivable, but those should be rare exceptions, not the common rule. Someone with a drug conviction, we can forgive them, right? We have a justice system, and not everyone gets the same sentence. So right there's an admission that some should be able to re-enter society. Different crimes require different punishments. Maybe we work on lowering that bar to forgive more people, to give them an opportunity for redemption before we throw away the key. Maybe we put an emphasis on helping those we convict re-enter society. We allow them a chance at redemption. We don't continue punishing them for the rest of their lives. We don't do summary executions in this society. We also can't kill everyone who commits a serious crime. It is not desirable to do so. It is also not desirable to keep millions of people incarcerated for as long as possible. More than 20% of the world's prison population rot in U.S. prisons. That is an icky form of American exceptionalism. Americans are being kept 4 years in solitary confinement, something the United Nations says is, by definition, torture. If someone locked a dog into a tiny room and only let them out alone for an hour a day, you would probably object. But we have judged our prisoners as beneath the compassion we have for animals. It's time to turn the other cheek. It's time to relearn forgiveness. We need to learn how to forgive those who have been convicted. We need to learn how to forgive one another for the sin of being a trumper or a libtard. Judge not. Turn the other cheek. Love your neighbor. There is symbolic power in these words. We can all learn from them. You don't need to believe in heaven or hell for these concepts to mean something. But if you call yourself a Christian, heed the words of your Lord and Savior, or ask yourself if you can still call yourself a Christian. Atheist friends, agnostics, don't judge a person for believing what you do not. Everyone is entitled to their beliefs. Christians are entitled to their beliefs as you are entitled to yours. I know you know that already, but some people need to hear the message anyway. Let's stop playing this game where my side is up and your side is down, so I feel superior. We are a lot more powerful when we can work together. We have a lot of potential. If we can start seeing one another as allies instead of competitors, there's nothing we cannot achieve. Every city or house divided against itself will not stand. Abraham Lincoln used that quote during another period when there was a lot of intense American division. He was quoting Jesus, Matthew 12:25. If normal people like us can look past our differences, we can make life better for all of us. If we can unite, the rich will be terrified. Corporations will quake. We can change the world. There are things that we can and do agree about. That might not be immediately obvious, but it is true. We are all getting screwed by corporations. What does a trans person have in common with a redneck? Both are being screwed by the Fortune 500. Let's make them pay.